Welcome to Focus on Health, a series of educational programs highlighting current health issues sponsored by the School of Nursing at Salisbury University. I'm Dr. Mary DiBartolo, Professor of Nursing and host of the program. Today I welcome Gwyneth Bradshaw.
Hi.
You are a dietitian.
Yes.
And we are going to do a show called Puzzled by Probiotics.
Sounds great.
Because it's a hot topic and a lot of people want to know more about it and do you need to have them every day and so forth. But before we get to that, I do need to make a special little announcement that you are the esteemed guest for the 300th program of Focus on Health.
I'm honored, thank you.
We started in 2002 by a colleague, and then I took it over in 2003, but this is the 300th show.
So that was a long time.
Thanks for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
So let's talk about probiotics. What exactly are they, and how do they relate to the other hot thing, the microbiome of the gut?
Yeah, absolutely. Probiotics are food products that contain live cultures or bacteria that then go and live in our gut and do a lot of great things for our health while they're there.
So that's a good place to have bacteria.
Yes. A lot of times you wouldn't want bacteria in your food, but probiotics is the one place where it's a good bacteria and actually can prevent bad bacteria from coming in as well.
So what are the names of some of these bacteria that are good for you and that are found in a lot of foods that we're going to talk about shortly? Of course, the first being yogurt.
Right, absolutely. The most common probiotic name or food that has an organism in it is Lactobacillus acidophilus. That's the most common one. But there are a bunch, and you can actually see them right on your yogurt label. So underneath the ingredients, usually there's a long list. This one, for example, has S. thermophilus, L. bulgaricus, L. acidophilus, like I mentioned, bifidus. There's a million different strains. Those are just 6 examples from this yogurt container, which isn't even Activia. Activia is
I know, that's the one
that everyone thinks of, yeah. But
I know I was always under the impression from some of the commercials that you have to buy, Activia Yogurt to get the live cultures, but You're saying those good bacteria are in all yogurt.
Yeah, the way that yogurt is made actually brings probiotics with it. So
it's all good.
It's all good.
So how exactly does this work as far as the balance, and why is it important that we get some sort of probiotics? I know we're going to talk later about how aggressive you have to be about the use of probiotics.
Well, let's just think about all the things in the American diet and our lifestyle that might negatively impact our gut health. So lack of sleep, stress, high fat, high sugar diets, and a limited intake of fruits and vegetables all can negatively impact your gut health. And I know that if people are watching this, they might think, oh, check, as far as the things that might negatively impact. And so probiotics are just kind of combating some of the things that might deplete our gut health. Some of the benefits include helping with eczema. That's one of the newest benefits. Yeah, as well as high cholesterol. It can help lower your cholesterol. Immunity support. A lot of times people think about boosting their immunity by taking probiotics.
We're just finding out a lot of diseases too, are related to inflammation in the gut and everything else, and it's really important to eat the right things.
Even obesity, they're finding studies that people who have obesity have a more limited gut microbiome than people without obesity.
I know we probably could talk for hours about the gut microbiome, but I know one thing you wanted to mention is the other term you hear that sounds like probiotics is prebiotics. So what are prebiotics and where do they come into play?
So prebiotics are food products that actually help support the growth of the microorganisms in your gut once you're already taking probiotics or eating probiotic foods. Some examples, I brought some with me. We've got an onion, banana, or even asparagus. Asparagus is a great prebiotic food, but all of these actually have just the right amount of oligosaccharides, which is a type of carbohydrate that's what the bacteria eat in your gut.
So it supports the healthy bacteria,
yeah.
the prebiotics, which
Yes.
kind of makes sense.
Right, if you think about like planting seeds in a garden, if you plant your seeds in like rocky soil, then they won't grow. But if you plant them in something that has fertilizer and all the right, balance of minerals, then they'll grow better, which is what prebiotics do.
So we're back to the old fruits and vegetables, whole grains
Right,
are all
exactly.
good for you and help support the healthy bacteria in the gut microbiome.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So exactly why might someone really have a need for maybe some additional intake or daily intake of probiotics?
Definitely if someone's on an antibiotic, especially over a long period of time, that antibiotic is getting rid of all the bacteria, so the bad bacteria it's fighting, but also the good bacteria that's in your gut. So that's when you definitely want a probiotic.
And sometimes a physician can write a prescription,
Yep,
correct,
absolutely.
for the acidophilus in a pill.
Yeah, and that might help with the cost, because sometimes probiotic supplements can be expensive in the store.
And is there a need to take probiotics via a pill for
Not
any
if
other
you're having
reason?
a healthy, balanced diet, including some of the probiotic foods. Some of those foods, not just yogurt, they could also include kefir, which is a cultured milk drink. This actually has, similar to yogurt in the way that it's made. On the side here, this one has 12 live and active probiotic cultures that you can read.
Yeah, that's a little thick. I know some people love it and drink it by itself, and it comes in flavors or it comes plain, but I know
Right.
I was talking with you before the show that I actually just will put some of it in when I make a smoothie.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
In place of milk, just to get some probiotics.
Right, especially if you don't necessarily like the taste of some things. It's good to mix it with other foods. You probably don't want to cook the kefir because that
Right.
might kill the bacteria. But
And yogurt too. A lot of people just don't care for yogurt, but there's other ways,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yep, other foods include sauerkraut, pickles, and then kombucha is very, very trendy these days, and it also has some probiotics inside, a good bit, as well as some other health benefits.
I know you can buy it in the bottle, and I know there's kombucha cafes now.
I
Where,
know, it's very trendy. This is the original flavor, but there's a million flavors of kombucha that you can find.
now that's a little tart. A lot of people may not care for
I'm
that.
not a huge fan of kombucha. I'd rather eat a yogurt, but
And
teach their
any kind of fermented food, correct? Like you said, kimchi or sauerkraut, pickles, those kind of things.
Yeah, absolutely.
So.
And you don't need to eat them every day. You don't need to, have a jar of sauerkraut with each meal or anything. But if you're getting something like that about once a week, then you're probably fine and don't need a probiotic supplement.
So even just a weekly dose
Yeah, I think that's
keeps
usually
the balance
adequate.
correct.
Yep.
So I know you mentioned that people that definitely do a course of antibiotics, there's going to be some need to rebalance the good
Right.
versus the bad. But what about people that have other GI problems?
Oh yeah, if people have chronic constipation or diarrhea or gassiness, sometimes a probiotic can be really helpful. You can always try it for a month or so, having a probiotic gummy or a little tablet or something, or just eating more yogurt over a month and see if it makes a difference. It probably will.
And what about inflammatory bowel disease like Crohn's? I mean, is that helpful?
Yeah, definitely. Always talk to your doctor about things
Right.
like that, but they might also think it's a good idea and want you to start as well.
So what if someone's lactose intolerant? Obviously yogurt wouldn't work,
Right.
so they can just try other sources?
Yep,
then?
other sources. You can try non-dairy yogurt. There are almond milk yogurts and soy milk yogurts and things like that people really enjoy. As far as the supplements go, it's hard sometimes to regulate them. The FDA does not regulate dietary supplements, so I know some people go on it, but it might be a really high dosage or really low dosage. So I'd always ask your doctor before going on a
Should you take the pill
supplement.
once a day, once a week?
Right.
And plus you said they're expensive.
Right.
And they're not regulated, so sometimes you're not exactly sure what you're getting.
Exactly.
So it's always best to get things a natural way.
Absolutely.
And those fruits and vegetables, we're back to the
I know. Wouldn't you think?
what we used to call the basic four, fruits and vegetables,
Whole
whole
grains,
grains is all good. And then just trying to get some yogurt, not necessarily every day, but
Right. Once a week, a couple times a week.
and read the packages too, because
Right.
it'll say, right? All these products will say.
Yep, right on the product. Yep, underneath the ingredients on yogurt labels. And usually if it's a probiotic containing food, they'll want to advertise that as well since it's so trendy now.
Okay, very good. So no one really needs to take any kind of supplements unless the doctor prescribes it, say, for an antibiotic course and whatnot. But just eating healthy.
Yes, a diet is always better than taking a bunch of pills.
Of course. Okay, I know you are going to recommend a website at the end of the program, the American Academy
Yes,
of
I'm part of the American Academy
Nutrition
of
and Dietetics.
Yes.
Eatright.org has
Absolutely.
more information because you can find probiotics all over the web. You just have to make sure you're reading a non-biased site because there's a lot of products out there that
nutrition is so trendy now that no matter what the topic is, it's always hard to find what's true and what's not. And so I always go to eatright.org because that's the Academy website to find kind of the truth about nutrition.
And it's all supported by research, the latest evidence and so forth. So that's important.
Supported by research and written by dietitians. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Gwyneth, for being on the program.
Oh, thanks for having me. It was a treat.
And thanks to you for joining us for Focus on Health here on PAC 14.